Hello, summer sirens. It's hot here again, really hot. There are 7 perfumes. I just did one a day this week. I had work and some time at home, but it's been very hot. So, also, 5 of the 7 here are tea perfumes, which is not surprising for me at this time of year. It's like often citrusy and tea-like, and then other little bits and pieces that sneak through. So let's start with this beauty. Oh, so gorgeous. Le Jardin de Monsieur from Hermes, from their beautiful Jardin collection. So, I really like this colour as well. I like these perfumes, but in terms of actually wearing them, Monsieur is by far my favourite. I think there's one called, is it Lagoon or something, which is like quite an indolic jasmine, which I can't get along with. This one is very up my street. I also like one of the more recent ones, the Cythery one, although it is quite sweet. So at this time of year, that almost feels a bit too sweet for me. But I really like Jardin sur le Nil and Jardin sur le Toit. Just both really beautiful perfumes, but in a weird way, both smell quite masculine on me. So I really love them, but I don't really love them on me. They're more like, I appreciate them as perfumes. I like them on other people, but on me, weirdly, they go a bit masculine. This is not the case for Monsieur. Monsieur is a perfect warm weather perfume for me. I just think it smells amazing. But it is kind of weird at the same time. They give you the notes kumquat, jasmine, mint, and green sap. You can smell all of those things. The kumquat's really unusual, really pretty, lovely. The jasmine is not indolic. It's not overwhelming. It's really gentle and kind of blossomy and spring-like and pretty. Then, like, it has this, it was almost aquatic, but it has this weird plasticky smell, which I really enjoy, which I think is so magical in this. I don't know if it's the green sap or what, but I know I've heard Sarah May's many times describe it as smelling a bit like vinyl, you know, and I kind of get that same thing, but it's not bothersome, it's not chemically, it's just really good. It's such a beautiful perfume. I really, really like this one. It's such a joy to wear, and actually, to be honest, this one lasts on me quite well. I'm really aware that I'm wearing this, considering that it's like quite a lightweight eau de toilette, but it's gorgeous. I love it. I think it's an eau de toilette anyway. I think all of the Jardin perfumes are eau de toilettes. I think they're designed to be light and summery and lush. I love it. And then we've got this bad boy. So this is brilliant. They don't make this dupe anymore, but to be honest, the actual perfume is so affordable. So this is La Rive Wave of Love, and I think it's a 90ml bottle, and it cost me, I reckon, about £8 or something when I bought it. But to be honest, I mean, you can only get maybe the smaller bottles of Eclat d'Arpège, like the 30ml for 15, but it's not an expensive perfume anymore, so I feel like they just don't make this anymore. But Wave of Love is just very much Eclat d'Arpège. It's fabulous. It's like my alternative to light blue, because Dolce & Gabbana light blue, not really for me. It smells super masculine, smells aroma chemically and harsh and overly woody and screechy citrusy. Like, the overall profile, when I smell that kind of profile in other perfumes, I enjoy, like this one. But the actual real thing, light blue, and all the flankers I've smelt just don't smell good to me. Same, to be honest, with a lot of Dolce & Gabbana perfumes, unfortunately. However, this one, the joy of Wave of Love and indeed Eclat d'Arpège is that they are that profile, but softer, with a delicious tea note running through it, and then these gorgeous purple florals, which I think make it a little bit more feminine. I mean, this is still not to me a feminine perfume. It still smells super unisex to me, like it just does, and anything light blue like always smells unisex to me. But this one is just my version. I only like this though in hot weather. In cold weather, the wood in this and that slightly masculine, the unisex thing veers towards masculine is what I'm trying to say when it's cold weather. But in hot weather, this is so gorgeous, and I really, really love it. So this is top notes of lilac, lemon, black elder, middle notes of tea, wisteria, peony, peach, and osmanthus. Base notes, musk, amber and cedar, and it's just such a pretty perfume. I'm just going to click real quickly on Eclat d'Arpège to see what the notes are in comparison. I think they're pretty much the same. Yeah, that one's got peach blossom in it, but that one's like green lilac, wisteria, tea, osmanthus. I mean, it's got so many good things in it. Oh, so I love it, and I really enjoyed wearing it, and I do like it in this weather. And then I also broke this guy out because, again, when it's super hot, this is a really hot day, it's so refreshing, it's so beautiful. And it's interesting because, like, just smelling this here, I'm like, yeah, it's got a decent amount of basil in it, but it's not like mega basil. And I do really like basil in perfume. So this is Aqua Allegoria. Can you even see like what this says? Aqua Allegoria Mandarin Basilic from Guerlain. So the thing is, right, I tried, was it last week when I was talking about it? Oh, you guys might remember better than I do at this point. But I had the Stag Quattro, the orange and ginger perfume. I wore that one. It must have been a few weeks ago because I wore it when I went to see my family. But when I got back, I thought it would be fun to compare them, because my plan was that once my husband bought me this one, I was probably not going to keep the other. And then when I compare them, they're just actually quite different. Like, this is, like, the basil in this is so obvious when you smell it against another kind of orangey perfume that doesn't have that greenness. Like, so I think if you don't like basil, you would probably hate this perfume. It's very easy for me to deal with because I really like basil as a note, and I even like a lot of perfumes that don't have basil but somehow smell like they've got basil in, like Lanvin's, not Lanvin, is it? No, Lalique's Amethyst. That fully smells like there's fresh basil in that perfume to me, and one of the things I love about it. But yeah, Mandarin Basilic is so good for this weather. I'm probably butchering the way that you're actually supposed to pronounce it, but another tea perfume. So although I have to say, like, I can sense that you get a feel of this being a tea perfume, but I don't think tea is like one of the really dominant notes here, because I feel like the clementine and the orange and the basil are like really high up in the mix here. So you've got clementine, bitter orange, orange blossom, green tea and ivy in the top. Mid notes of mandarin orange, basil, chamomile, peony, and then base notes of sandalwood and amber. I'm just going to look at the votes. I want to see what other people say. Yeah, clementine, mandarin orange and basil are at the top, then bitter orange, orange blossom, and then green tea. Yeah, so I don't get any peony. The thing is, I don't really get too much of a sense of chamomile, but I feel like that is the kind of note that just is like softens everything out and makes it a bit more calming. But this is very bright and juicy and like so good for this weather. Absolutely scrumptious. And then this is, I just love this perfume. Someone informed me, Ilio from Diptyque has been made permanent. So it's just the black and white version of this now, in the same way that the other Diptyques, the permanent Diptyques, are. It's just a gloriously bright, sunshiny iris perfume, which is unusual because iris perfumes often I find a little bit melancholy. Not with Ilio. Ilio is a little bit powdery but also super juicy. It's got an incredibly like aquatic level watery fruit, but very juicy. And it's a little bit earthy for sure, but it's so pretty. I just really love this perfume. And I've said before, if you don't want to spend like the Diptyque like standard money for this and you go onto eBay, I'm not saying try and get this actual eau de toilette from eBay, because there's a lot of fakes of Diptyques out there for sure. But the hairsprays that's the first one I got, and the hairspray I got, like someone had bought the set, and they obviously, like back when this was a special edition, and they obviously weren't interested in the hairspray, so I bought that, and you can wear that as a perfume. It smells absolutely delicious, and it just is so beautiful for this time of year. So that's a more affordable way, because I can't really compare this to anything else. I don't know that it really particularly smells like anything else, although in a weird way something about it is sort of in the same wheelhouse as Monsieur. They don't smell the same, but it's almost like they could hit to like the same mood, even though Monsieur is kind of crisper, not as powdery, and Ilio's really powdery. But Ilio's prickly pear, iris, jasmine and bergamot, apparently. And if I look down, people have compared it to A Tory Birch, which I assume is expensive. Mojave Ghost Absolute. Interesting. Not smart that. German. I'm trying to find anything here. Leather Fever from Zara, but Zara won't make that anymore because, you know. Aqua Allegoria Flora Salvigia. I think I have a sample of that and I don't agree. Everything here is quite expensive. There is a Rio de Janeiro called Refresco Pariso. I've not smelt that. But yeah, unfortunately, nearly all the other things are compared, apart from Vasette Petite, which I have, and I don't think smells anything like this outside of the fact it's a bit powdery. It's not juicy, that one, and it's super sweet, and it's not like Ilio. But yeah, everything else compared to it, unfortunately, is kind of expensive. So yeah, Ilio, I'm sorry, it might be too unique for me to give you like an actual genuinely affordable alternative. And then this, I'm just wearing this all the time and I don't care. And I'm sorry I talk about it all the time, but it's just the best thing for this time of year. My dent in both this and the one I take to work is real denting now, look. I love it! Green tea, Elizabeth Arden. It's just one of the best things ever. I wear it sometimes at night before I go to bed at the moment just because it's like so refreshing. It's not normally the kind of thing I would think to put on when I want to go to sleep, but because it's so spa-like when it's this hot, like it just helps me cool down a bit. But I've been constantly wearing this during the day. I just love this perfume. I just want to wear it all the time. Like, it's so good. But again, I don't need to talk about it. People in the comments like to remind me it's Francis Kirk de Jean, and yes, I do know that. I know it's one of his earliest perfumes, and God bless him for creating a genuine masterpiece that I really think inspired a lot of things. I think someone said that he was inspired by the Bulgari one, their first tea one, but I don't really like that perfume. I think it's just a bit bland to me, whereas green tea is the perfect sweetness, the perfect herbaceous note, the perfect aromatics, the perfect tea note. Like, it's just everything about it, the perfect citrus. It's one of the most perfectly balanced perfumes I've ever smelled. There's nothing in it that I pull out that irritates me ever. I've never, ever once put on green tea and gone, I'm not sure I should have worn this today. And that happens with a lot of perfumes for me. Like, there's so many things that I wear them and I don't really think when I'm wearing them, oh, you know, I've made a good decision. Sometimes I'm like, I should have worn something else. This has never happened. I love it. I'm obsessed. Anyway, stop. Top notes: lemon, bergamot, mint, orange peel and rhubarb. Middle notes: jasmine, musk, fennel, oak moss, carnation, white amber. Base notes: green tea, jasmine, musk, oak moss, celery seeds, caraway, cloves and amber. Back in the days when they used to actually give you all the notes that was in a perfume, so you genuinely knew what it was going to smell like. All right, one that doesn't have tea in it. Very pretty though. I wore this on a day where it wasn't too hot, so I wasn't going to be bothered by the muskiness. But this is another perfume. I find this a bit too floral and a little bit shampooey in weather when it's like anything other than like quite warm to hot. But when it is, God, I love it. It's Tocca, so heavy. Look, bottles are so heavy, like even just picking them up compared to most other bottles. There's so much glass in this because it's a 50ml, but they're so beautiful, aren't they? The most beautiful bottles, these Toccas. Now I do have my light on, but hang on, sorry, my light's being very weak. Oh, I've just realised, guys, I'm such an idiot. I thought it was charged, but it's not properly charged, so hopefully, never mind. I haven't got time to redo this, so I hope it's not been too horribly dark the whole way through. Is that a bit brighter? Let me just, Alright, I need to try and... Anyway, let's get back to it. I'm wasting time. Tocca Simone. Gorgeous, musky, floral watermelon perfume. You can smell the watermelon in this, but it's not something I reach for thinking I want to wear watermelon. I just think it's absolutely delicious. You can recognise the watermelon, but I have perfumes I was wearing on yesterday that I'll talk about in a couple of weeks that is like, oh, I want to smell like a watermelon. I have some of those. This one, oh, this is so pretty. So it's watermelon, apple, lemon in the top. Middle notes: freesia, frangipani, rose and ylang ylang. Base notes: musk, woody notes and amber. It's just gorgeous, this perfume. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's... sometimes I wonder if it's because it has that slightly pinky colour, but I mean, you can get that from watermelon, but I always think of a very, very light hint of strawberry in this for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But the votes are watermelon and green apple in the top, like being like the strongest, followed by freesia. For me, this is very much freesia, musk, watermelon. Like, those are the main things. It almost feels like a relative of like Modern Princess and Jeanne from Lonvin, which is those kind of quite thick, musky, fruity freesia perfumes. Like, but this one does definitely just have, I think probably because of the rose and the apple, it does go a little bit shampooey for me when it's colder weather, but when it's not, it's very ladylike. It's really pretty. I'm lucky. I think this really suits my skin, so I just really like it. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. So yeah, really love that one. And then I haven't worn this one for a while, but this is another absolute beauty. I don't know if they make this anymore, but like, it's... I've got my fan on, so I sprayed that, and it just sort of went away from me, but... I'm trying to think what it is. I need to look at the notes, because I'm thinking of ginger, but I'm not sure if that's right. Let's look at the notes. It is! The ginger's so strong. That's what it is. Okay, sorry, let me show you what I'm talking about. Florever from Agatha Ruiz de la Prada, the original Florever. I've tried other... Like, I've had another flanker of this, at least one flanker, and I've had other Agatha Ruiz de la Prada perfumes, and I don't love any of them. But this is so good. Like, Florever, the original, this a fabulous blue kitsch bottle. I do wonder if these are supposed to be for children, these perfumes. I don't care if they are. But I think this is an eau de toilette. This is definitely in the same realm as Still from Jennifer Lopez. I do think it's kind of similar. It's not exactly the same, but they're definitely comparable to me in terms of the way that they smell. But this is, I mean, I don't know that I've really thought too much about it before, but this time I wore it and I was like, this is a ginger bomb. This is a tea, and I'd say probably jasmine, and floral, delicious bomb. So top notes of tea and yuzu, you can smell both of those. Middle notes of wildflowers, magnolia, ginger and pink pepper. Maybe a little bit of pink pepper. Like I said, the ginger is very strong. The wildflowers, I feel like I'm getting jasmine here. Like, I actually think it's like a really soft, again, kind of, like I said with Monsieur Lee, like a sort of spring-like, petally, blossomy jasmine. And then the base notes are musk, hinoki wood, cedar and amber. The hinoki wood I think is really interesting here. It's really nice. It grounds this perfume quite well. Not the longest lasting perfume. This one, I mean, I could smell it on my clothes for longer, but I think maybe after about 4 hours I really wanted to properly reapply this. Unlike Still, which if you get Still, that lasts forever, but it's crisper. And like I said, like, this is, like, that's got a different kind of spice. That's definitely... Still has like a slightly peppery spice and a very crisp, slightly acidic apple. That's kind of, it's just one of the crispest perfumes I have. And then it has a Earl Grey tea note, but to me it smells like a black jasmine tea. It very much smells like black tea to me, with rather than the kind of aromatics and the florals that you get with Earl Grey. Like, it really smells like jasmine tea to me. Oh no, I'm being attacked. I hope that's not a mosquito. Guys, a mosquito bit me on my actual knuckle, and it itches and hurts so much. It's so hideous. Anyway, I digress. But Florever has a beautiful tea note in it, and I'd say again, like, it doesn't say what kind of tea it is, but it does give me a more of a vibe of black tea than green tea. So good. And then that ginger is really coming through strong. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've ever said that about this perfume before, but it hit me very much so when I just smelt it now, and probably when I was wearing it the other day. I really love this. I sort of hope you can still get it. I'm just going to have a super quick search to see. Florever. It's going to want me to... there it is. I don't think you can get it anymore, guys. This is such a shame. Like, of all of her perfumes, there's one I've never tried. There's one called Agatha Ruiz de la Prada Florever Sexy, but the sexy one, not so much, not so much. Yeah, I think maybe you might be able to get it on the grey market in some countries, but they seem to be sold out at most places. I'm sorry about that, guys, but yeah, the closest thing you can get to this for me is definitely Still. Like, Still is very similar, I think. A slightly different vibe, but quite a similar style of tea perfume. So, yeah, I mean, that's it for this week, guys. Now, listen, I'm going to see my friend and her family next weekend, so I'm going up north. Which means I won't be here to make a video next week, so I will do the same that I did when I went to see my family, and I will do probably 2 videos to cover a fortnight's worth of perfumes, and I'll do one on the Sunday and then one for the Wednesday after, just because otherwise they get really long and it's really hard to upload stuff that big to YouTube, and it's also much harder to edit it when it's a really long video. So I'm intentionally trying to, I still like long form videos myself, you know, that's what I like to do, but I'm trying not to make them like too much over maybe half an hour, just because like having to work with those files is so much more difficult. And also, to be honest, my iPad is now at a point where even when I delete almost everything off it, I can't even update it because there's not enough space for the operating system. I'm probably just going to have to get a new iPad, aren't I, guys? It's just going to be hundreds of pounds. But anyway, like I said, I won't be here next week, but I hope that you enjoy whatever I've got lined up in the meantime for this Wednesday coming, and then the Wednesday after, and then I'll be back and I will tell you what I've been getting up to. I'm hoping to take some perfumes up to my friend, and I'm probably going to... I made like a proper list of my pen sprays to make it easier to decide if I've got like more portable things I can take away with me when I'm having little holidays away. So hopefully I'll be wearing some things that you might not know so well, or like, I don't know, we'll see. It depends whether I'm just going to end up being like, it's boiling, I'm just going to take green tea up with me, which is very possible. But yeah, it's still boiling here. I'm going to go now. I'm going to sit in front of this fan. I'm probably going to work out whether I'm getting a takeaway tonight because I've got my flat to myself, which means... I mean, it might be time for some Japanese food, do you know what I mean? Like, or possibly just ice lollies. We'll see. We'll see how hot it gets in my flat. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Tell me what you've been wearing. Tell me if you've got any of these. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and you're all wonderful. And I promise, as soon as I get time, might actually be at the weekend when I'm traveling up to my friends, or like when we've all gone to bed and I've got a bit of time to myself, you know. Maybe I'll actually have some time to respond to your comments, and I will do that eventually, I promise. Thanks again for watching. Bye, guys!